Hello and welcome to my review of the new Pyg expansion. The new expansion was revealed by Kriparian and Sene, link to their videos in the description. So first up, we have 28-hour fitness. When you use a weapon, your items with shield gain 10 shield for the fight, and when you use a shield, your weapons gain 10 damage for the fight. It's a kinda cool effect, and there are some synergies with this item coming, so let's just get right into it. The next item is a small item, Bad Blocker, 8 second, shield 20. However, this has +1 multicast for each item you have in play with value over 10. So if you can manage to get this with a lot of small items with value over 10, this would potentially have 8 multicast, including the value of the 28-hour fitness. An 8 multicast, shield 20, plus every time you shield, you give your weapons 10 damage. Could potentially see play. There are more items synergizing with this coming as well. The next item, we have Pen FT. So a little bit of a wordplay there with the name. 2 second small item, your items gain 3 value for the fight. This will see play together with the Bad Blocker, because this would help your other items to have value over 10. It's also a very fast item at 2 seconds. Without ammunition. Most other items at 2 seconds are either katana, it's a medium item, or small items like a Jutsi, but those items have ammunition. So this is potentially a very strong activator for other effects. So Pen FT will probably see play in the mid game for Pygmalion and also as a item activator at 2 seconds. Next up, we have Wrist Warrior. Adjacent items gain 5 shield for the fight every 5 seconds. When the item to the left of this shields, deal 5 damage. So this is obviously a very good synergy with the Bad Blocker. Because if the Bad Blocker has 8 multicast, the Wrist Warrior will trigger its damage 8 times. And not only will it deal 5 damage, but the 28-hour fitness, every time you shield, your weapons gain damage. So every time this goes off, it will deal damage and also increase this item's damage. It's gonna look something like this. You are going to want to play the 28-hour fitness here. And every time you use a weapon, your items gain shield, and when you use a shield, your weapons gains damage. Then we use the Bad Blocker here. 1 multicast for each item you have in play with value over 10. We use the Pen FT here to give your items value over 10 to make this effect go off. So this will essentially have 8 multicast, because you're gonna be able to play 7 small items plus this large item. Every time the Bad Blocker goes off, we're gonna trigger the 28-hour fitness here. When you use a shield items, your weapons gain 10 damage. So this damage will go up every time we use 1 multicast here. And not only does this item's damage go up, we also deal that damage as well. First time this goes off, this triggers 5 damage. And the second multicast, it's 15, third, 25, and then 35, and 45, and so on. Now imagine you have a bunch of extra, either shield items, to buff this item's damage even more, or weapons to buff this shield even more. Both are fine, so it doesn't really matter if you play shield or weapons here. Both are equal to more shield and more damage. The Wrist Warrior itself, adjacent items gain 5 shield for the fight, so when you use this, you will give this a little bit extra shield, which is fine. And you will also trigger the 28-hour fitness shield. Then we're gonna add the next item I'm gonna show you in the reveal. The Ring King Gauntlets. Deal damage equal to 1 times your income, multicast 2. While in play, you have 1 income. So deal damage equal to 1 times your income is not gonna be very important here. Of course, this can increase to 2 times or 3 times or 4 times your income with level up. However, what's important here is a small item with a 5-second cooldown and multicast 2. That's extremely fast and extremely good for a small weapon. You'll be wanting to add this to your board, looking like this. So this will help to trigger this shield even more. And it's also gonna have a lot of damage just from this shield going off as well. Next up, we have Coin Cure. Gain regen for the fight equal to 1 time this item's value. When you win a fight with Coin Cure in play, increase this item's value by 3. When you lose a fight with Coin Cure in play, permanently destroy this and gain gold equal to its value. I think we can use this as an econ item to play versus PvEs, to just farm up some extra gold since you know you're gonna win. And if you lose, it's okay to lose it because you will get the gold equal to its value anyway. So it's a kind of a safe item to just play for value. I think the effect here would be good if you ever manage to get this item up to like a decent amount with a fast cooldown, but still you should not play this, because if you would ever lose a fight after investing so much gold on the Coin Cure, this gets destroyed. Sure, you will get the gold, but you have no other items probably to play this with, since you have invested so much on this regen item with a build around this item's value and regen as well, because one lose and the whole build is ruined. But it's fine to just use it as a bank item to bank up your gold value. Next up, Rice Baller. 7-second item, burn 5. This has +1 multicast for each item you have in play with value over 10. So you'll be looking to use the Rice Baller with a NFT as well, just to get your item's value up above 10. And then this will have a lot of multicast. You can play this with 8 small items plus itself. So that's 9 multicast. 9 times 5 equal to 45 burn. That's 7 seconds. In the early game, this will be very, very powerful. You can play a bunch of random crap and then use the NFT to give those items value. And this will burn for 45 in the early game. It's very powerful. In the late game, you can, with some burn skills and some burn buffs, you can get this item to like burn 20 or even burn 40 if you enchant it with fiery. Let's say you can get this item to burn 20, which is pretty normal, I would guess. This would burn for 20 times 9. That's 180 burn every 7 seconds. That sounds like a very good item. You could also reduce its cooldown as well. I think the Rice Baller will see some play. You can compare it to the Kios, I guess, and this is on par. You will not have to work as hard to get this item going. You're not gonna need to scale this to make it work. You can just smash it on your board and it will work instantly if you have the NFT. So this is a very good item. Next up, we have Hypergreens. Adjacent items gain 3 value for the fight. So basically a bad version of the NFT, because the NFT is a 2-second and it gives all your items value. However, when you use an adjacent item, heal equal to the value of adjacent items. So what's gonna happen here is, if you're gonna play this, I think you wanna play this as a heal item. Of course, play this next to a fast item with a lot of value, but I don't think that's gonna be the case when you wanna use it. I think you'll be looking to use this as a combo item, like together with Bushel, to make sure when you use the Bushel, you're gonna heal twice. And you may think, why is that good? Well, combine the Bushel with the textiles. The textile says when you overheal, shield. So the Bushel will heal twice, and then you will overheal and shield twice. So every time you shield, your Bushel is gonna get 1 second of shield. So that's basically 2 seconds in total of charge on the Bushel. Then you add the luxury tent to this to give your Bushel multicast. When your Bushel goes off, the Bushel will first heal from its own effect, then heal from this hypergreen effect. Then it will multicast and trigger those effects again. That's 4 instances of heal, and every time we overheal, we will gain shield. So that's 4 shields for the Bushels to recharge itself. So that's an infinite combo. And then you have 1 small item left on your board to do whatever you like with an Jojo to go place next to the Bushel, or a small item that works with heal or something. You can also find an enchant for the Bushel, like an obsidian or a fiery or a toxic or something, just to make sure the bushel deals damage. I believe there are some good version of it too without the luxury tents. We could see some play with this, just for the passive effect here, not for the active effect. I don't think the active effect is very important at all, actually. Next up, we have Speedrunner. 6 seconds small item, charge one non-toy item 1 second. When you use another toy, charge this 1 second. I believe this will see some good buffs when you level it up. Either way, this will either go down to 5, 4, 3, or this will increase the amount of seconds this charges one non-toy item to 1, 2, 3, or even 4 seconds at diamond tier. No matter what buffs this gets from the level up, it will be very strong. You could play this with just a few fast toys. You could play this next to the model ship to give it multicast, and also give another toy multicast on the other side of the model ship. And then basically you have a really fast battery item for Pygmalion to use his very long cooldown items. The Speedrunner seems like a very good item that you'll be looking to play with those long cooldown items and combine it with a toy. Next up, we have Showcase. 5-second medium items. If you have 3 or more weapons, they gain 20 damage for the fight. If you have 3 or more shield items, they gain 20 shield for the fight. So this works basically like a Ganyu. Just a cooldown that when this goes off, gain shield or gain damage. Nothing more, nothing less. It's fine in the early game. It's okay-ish in the mid game. And it's gonna fall off very, very hard in the late game. You could pick this up and just play it if you have nothing else, but I wouldn't recommend it to go too hard on this. And that's it for the Pygmalion expansion. Please let me know what you think of these items, and if you have any possible combinations or combos that I didn't think about. And make sure to drop a follow, and we'll talk about the next expansion for Muck tomorrow. Take care.